What's up, Blue Rip Nation? It's your boy Jonathan, and Comic Con just dropped. Today's Sunday. Probably releasing this on Monday, so I don't know what's coming out today's news. But Saturday night left us with a lot of information. So let's. I feel like a kid in a candy store. Let's just dive into this stuff and embrace in the wonders that is the world we are living in. I know it's such a bleak and dreary world full of doom and frustration, but sometimes, like last night, you just you find your zen and you realize life ain't so bad. So let's get into this. We'll start with Marvel because Marvel, from all things Marvel spring, all things happiness spring from Marvel. Let's start there. They released a bunch of logos for the different shows, which is cool, but wasn't a lot of new information there except when we talked about Captain Marvel. I told you that my favorite Captain Marvel, she was the little girl in the Captain Marvel movie, Carol Danvers' best friend's daughter. Monica, she's my favorite Captain. She grows up to become my favorite Captain Marvel. And I said when I talked about that movie that I hope they hire like an adult actress to play her because that movie takes place in the '90s, so she would be grown now, and maybe we could get her as, if not Captain Marvel, one of her other code names. And they've announced that there's going to be someone playing her as an adult in the WandaVision TV show. So maybe she'll be getting her own powers, and I don't know. I'm excited. I'm really confused about WandaVision because I thought it was going to take place in the 50s. Someone said that it was said in some interview. Now it's taking place modern day, or not modern day. It's 5 years from now. I think it's Marvel Universe timeline jumped. I don't know if how they're bringing Vision back. Like, there's a lot of questions about how it's going to work, but I'm excited for it. I'm definitely excited for that. And then, well, we're talking about Scarlet Witch. She's going to be in the Doctor Strange 2 movie, Madness of the Multiverse, or something like that, which Marvel's saying is going to be a full-on horror movie, which I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so excited. You have no, okay. I'm cheesing. I can feel it in my face. I'm cheesing, but I'm so excited. I love horror movies. I love Marvel. Doctor Strange is a pretty good movie, so making this a full-on horror movie, you have no idea how excited I am. Like, this is so badass. Um, then we have the news from Thor that Natalie Portman's coming back. She's going to play Jane Foster again. They're giving her the hammer, so she's going to be female Thor. Which, if you read the comics when Jane Foster was Thor, it was a really great story arc. Like, it was something different with the characters, and it was exciting. I don't know if they'll go the whole because so Jane Foster at that point in time, she had cancer, and so she was going through therapy. But every time she would transform into Thor, it would undo the effects of the chemo. So it became she either stays Jane Foster and tries to get the cancer to go into remission, or she becomes Thor permanently. She had to kind of choose which one she wanted, and she kept trying to play both sides. She wanted to stay Jane Foster, she wanted to be Thor, and it was killing her. I don't know if they will go that storyline in this movie, but it was a good storyline, and it's eventually what made her stop being Thor. Is she Odin's son, which is we'll get to in a minute, which is our Thor. He was worthy again, so he took the hammer back, and she started to try to heal herself. But I hope they don't call him Odin's son. I want him to stay Thor. I don't care what they call her. They can call her Thor. They can call him both Thor for all I care. I just hated that he gave up his name as if it was a title. It was his name. His name is Thor Odin's son. I don't want him to lose his sense of like. I get in the comic that was what they were going for, was that he was lost his sense of identity and he was kind of aimless and all that. They don't need to do that story. Well, I guess they actually do. They set that storyline up perfectly. Huh. That's why he joined the Guardians of the Galaxies, because he's aimless and he doesn't know where he's going. All right, you know what? I'm in. This is exciting. I am excited. The other exciting news is that the Master of Kung Fu himself is getting a movie, which they've been speculating for a while. But if you look at the subtitle, the Ten Rings thing, this is something, in case you don't know, that goes back to the beginning of the MCU. Iron Man 1, the terrorist organization was called the Ten Rings, which is all a reference to a Iron Man villain named the Mandarin, who we kept thinking we were gonna get, and then we finally got him in Iron Man 3, but it was Ben Kingsley playing an actor who was playing the Mandarin, and it was all bullshit. And I honestly feel it was one of Marvel's big missteps, which they rectified when it came out. Because remember the early DVDs they used, or Blu-rays, they were only on the Blu-rays. They came out with little shorts called Marvel One Shots, and they did one called All Hail the King, in which Ben Kingsley's character is kidnapped by henchmen of the real Mandarin, who tell him that the Mandarin's not happy that he used his name, and so implying there was a real Mandarin. And we were told that one day we'd see him in the Marvel universe, but we never have. And now they've cast him, and he's in this movie, and I can't wait. I am so excited. This is such great news. We also got our own Blade. One of the few guys in the MCU who's going to be playing two characters, because he also played, I think, what, Cottonmouth, right? In Luke Cage season one. So, and he was great. And he's just such a great actor. I've been a huge fan of his going all the way back to 4400. I don't know if you remember that where he played a World War II soldier who was beaten up. He was at camp and he got beaten up because he was dating a white girl, and his unit was fucking racist, and so they beat him up, and when they left him there, and that's when he was abducted, and then he came back and he started dating, I think, the granddaughter of his girlfriend from back in World War II. And then they had a kid, and the kid turned out to be one of the most important 4400, even though she wasn't really a 4400 because, well, she was, because when the girl came back, she was impregnated with his child. Real complicated storyline, but it was such a great show, such a great storyline. I can't believe they canceled it after only 4 seasons. There's 2 novels that I just bought, but I'm rewatching the show before I read them. So I'm excited to see where those books lead us. But yeah, anyways, I've been a fan of his for a long time. And they announced he was Blade, and I used to talk to my friends like, who do you think would be Blade? And he was always the one who I would throw out there. Like, I think he could pull it off. I mean, he's a little on the older side, but he's such a great actor, and they cast him as Blade. So I'm excited. They also confirmed that they are working on a Fantastic Four movie, which is exciting. Like I said, I think it should take place in the '90s, but we'll see what it does. It's just such an exciting time to be a Marvel fan, you know? Oh, God, moving on. Moving on. Well, we're talking about Disney, all things Disney and things they own. The Orville, which is kind of like the classic Star Trek show that we have, because the Star Trek shows that we're getting aren't classic Trek. They're good, but they're not classic Trek. Orville is classic Trek, is moving from Fox to Hulu for season 3, which is like, why would he leave? He has such a good relationship with Fox, but then you think about it, Disney owns Fox, Disney also owns Hulu. Probably get more of a budget on Hulu, maybe shorter seasons, but I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'm excited. As long as they keep making the Orville, I'm happy because I love that show. But while we're talking about Star Trek, so they released a trailer for the Picard show, and we see on it, people are saying it's Data, but Data is dead. More than likely it's B5, maybe with some of Data's memories. I don't know. We'll find out when the show comes out. And then there's 7 of 9, and then it was announced that Troy and Riker are on the show. It's just, and then LeVar, he was saying that he might come back as LaForge. So it's so great, so exciting, man. Like, they're bringing in so many next gen people. I can't wait, man. And this looks so good. And the Borg are coming back. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Which makes sense that Picard and 7 of 9 will be 2 of the main, and Data, if it is Data or B5 with some of Data's memories, because arguably they're the characters who had the most connection to the Borg. I mean, most of the cast of Voyager you can argue too, but those 3 had deep connections. Picard was assimilated, 7 of 9 was assimilated, Data had that weird romance. So it's exciting, and like, who's this girl that Picard has to kind of help and all that? It's interesting, and it's kind of doing the same thing that it is John Luke, the same thing that Kirk did. he retired. He retired, and then he was listless. He couldn't accept that this was his life. He didn't like being out of the seat. And he did warn Picard in Generations that you don't ever want to let them take you out of that chair. And so this is Picard, missing the action, missing that life, that sense of adventure that he had for all those years. It's I don't know, man. I am so excited, and they're doing short treks. So Picard is getting a short trek, and then I think I heard that Pike was getting one, which was cool because he was such a great Pike. Man, I would love it for them to do a show. You want classic Trek? Give Christopher Pike that Enterprise a show of like their mission before Kirk took over. I would watch that. That would be legit. Um, and you could even do like old school Buffy style television with that, where you have episodic episodes with an overarching story. Make it not as serialized, and so you could have the random episodes about nonsense because that is what Star Trek is, and that is the only thing missing from Star Trek because everything else is amazing. Um, other news. Okay, so Kevin Smith news. Oh well, let's do DC Universe news first. Titan is Titans, unfortunately, I guess their stunt coordinator died, and so production has been delayed. Condolences to that guy's family and all. That's horrible, man. When it's all supposed to be safe, and no one should die making entertainment. You know, that's a real tragedy. But in other news, Doom Patrol has been renewed for season 2. Young Justice has been renewed for season 4. So it's looking like the DC Universe app is going strong. It's not going anywhere. The only show we lost, unfortunately, is Swamp Thing, which is so amazing. It's almost done too. I think we have 2 episodes left. Um, and then okay, so Kevin Smith news. So at his panel, he said that it's looking like next year we might get more episodes of the Clerks cartoons. There's only 6 episodes, but if you haven't seen them, they are some of the funniest shit ever, man. They did a last Starfighter episode. Like, what is so good? Um, there's like the Bad News Bears mixed with the last Starfighter mixed with Indiana Jones. One of the funniest cartoons I have ever seen in my life. And apparently next year we might get more episodes, so that's very exciting. He also said that the Clerks 3 that he was going to do is dead and gone, but he's working on a new script for Clerks 3. And that he thinks that in a world where he got Ben Affleck back, he can get Jeff Anderson back. I don't know. He might be being optimistic, but I hope he's right. That would be awesome. If he could pull that off, if we could get a Clerks 3, that would be awesome. I'd be so happy. I look forward to finding out what news comes out, what other news comes out for Comic Con, but all the Marvel, DC, Star Trek, Kevin Smith news, I'm good, man. I'm basking in the glory that is comicdom right now. Sometimes life is good. And apparently the WandaVision, is going to tie in directly to Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange 2, which is the madness of the multiverse or the multiverse madness or whatever it's called. So it's about the multiverse. Maybe that's how we get Vision back. Maybe it's not our Vision. Maybe it's another Vision from another universe. I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see where this goes. Man, it's a good time to be a nerd. With that said, give us Legends.